So there was one change that took me from being a degenerate, drinking every single night heavily, really not enjoying my life. I was slacking in all areas. I was low vibration all the time, to the point where I didn't even want to be around myself. I didn't want to surround myself with my own energy. Like, my own thoughts were just disgusting. I had to distract myself constantly just to get away from myself. Now, I went from that position to now being probably the best self that I have ever been in. And it came down to one action, okay? And for those of you who are struggling to make progress, you're struggling to get that break that I know you are so close to. If you think about it, you're just right below the level that you need to be, and then you'll just take off like this. Believe me, I was in that exact same position. Now, the thing you have to do, and the biggest change that will affect this year for you, is dominating your environment, okay? Now, I was in a place where I was letting the world control me. I was floating down the river. I was just like, oh, this thing happened. Okay, let's just go with it. Or, oh, my life's like this. I guess that's just life. This, that, whatever it is, I was just succumbing to life's events. I wasn't taking any charge. I wasn't taking that ownership of my life that I needed to do, and that I eventually did in order to gain self-mastery, the best physique I've ever had, the discipline, the mindset, the money, the lifestyle that I now have. Like today, we've just been training, working, sun, hanging out with my boys in this dope villa that costs $3.5 million. All right, we've been jet skiing. All right, we just had a nice dinner. Now we're all creating content. I had to go through a complete change in my environment in order to get there. I could not achieve this life by staying in my old environment, because your environment has this hold on you, okay? Your environment has this power that, believe it or not, believe it or not, just holds this cloud over you, okay? It's like this magnet. It just pulls you into your old self, your lesser self. So achieving this higher self, achieving self-mastery, the best version of you that is absolutely possible, you have to change that environment. You have to change it to an environment that is congruent with that higher self. And for me, the main things for an environment are, the first thing is just being somewhere that you like being, okay? A lot of young guys, they feel like, all right, I'll move back in with mum, I'll grind on my business, and then when I'm making all the money, or I've got the success, then I'll go somewhere nice. I think this is pretty backwards if you think about it, because it's so difficult to get to that level when you are in a place that, I'm not saying anything about my mum's bedroom, not her bedroom, my bedroom, my mum's house. I'm not saying anything negative about that. I love my family, but in order for me to make the progress that I wanted to make, that I needed to make, I had to change my environment, and that came from drunkenly booking a one-way ticket to Thailand. Now, you will probably do a lot more thinking, a lot more planning behind it, not too much though, but changing your environment will lead to massive growth, not only to the new cultures, but the new ideas, new ways of operating that you will be exposed to. Now, I'm from a very small village just outside of York in the north of England, and I was talking to Harvey about this earlier, or I was talking to someone about it earlier, and it's all about the levels of wealth, the levels of operation that you have in your environment. And for me, in a small village, like the upper ceiling was like, oh, this guy's got a brand new tractor, he must be the cool guy, he's like the richest guy around. Whereas if you move somewhere like a big city, or you move somewhere where there's people operating like Dubai at a high level, you see that there's so much higher ceilings. And when you put yourself in that position, you just are, it's the law of exposure. You're exposed to that. And once you leave that environment, you know that there's still that ceiling. So when you go back to that small village, you think, shit, I could be doing so much more than this in life. So exposing yourself to somewhere where there's so much money, so much wealth, not only that, but people operating at a high level. Like when you go to Dubai and you see everyone's grinding, everyone's collaborating, everyone is building things, you see that level of lifestyle. You see that level of hard work that you just do not get in other places in the world. Okay. Now, when I came to Thailand, I was I wasn't really exposed to much online business. Shock, a small village just outside of York in the north of England, there wasn't many people working online. Okay. Now, so I was just having to take all my ideas, all my inspiration from the internet, and yeah, that is good to some extent, but you really need to be in an environment that allows you to grow. Okay. And it's not just business. Like when I came out here, the big change for me was like hanging out with guys who were in incredible shape. Okay, they were starting to learn how to fight, or they were already fighting. They were training every single day, and I was like, shit, I really need to up my game. And that changed me, just being in that environment of hanging out with people who are genuinely about it, genuinely on their shit. That made such a big difference for me, and it can do the exact same for you. So looking to change your environment, please do not think that it's got any risk at all, because what's the worst that can happen? You go there, you go for a couple months, you try it out, and then you come back still back in square one, but you probably had a fucking amazing 2 months. You probably learned so much about yourself in those 2 months. When I came here, I had a completely fresh slate. I had a blank canvas in which to build my life. There was no routines, there was no social circles. I could start from the ground up, and that's a very powerful position to be in. Okay. I could choose the people that I was going to hang around with. I could choose the places I was going to go instead of just the same old routine that I'm sure you are accustomed to. Putting yourself in a new environment just opens your mind to these whole new ideas, these whole new ways of thinking. Like today, our friend Niels, he ran like an affiliate mastermind at the villa, just a presentation, and it really opened my eyes into not only the affiliate marketing world, but how other people run their business. And you don't get that from being in the same environment that you've been in for the past 20, 25 years. Okay. Move. Just move away. Just places like Colombia, Thailand, Bali, Philippines. If you don't have a lot of money, just move there for 2 months. The visas are great. Get some sun, train, and just hang out with people who are working in the online space. It's so powerful because you see how they're operating, you see what they're doing, you make friends with them, you collaborate, you create, you build together. Like, this is so cool. And it's so backwards that people still think, yeah, but I'll just stay at home and I'll grind it out and then I'll start living afterwards. No, you get a positive mental attitude by living a life that is actually fun. Okay. I'm sick of the whole monk mode, grind, hustle. I don't want to do all of that. Okay. I want to live a fun life. Okay. I know where I'm going. Okay. I want to have fun while I'm getting there. All right. I don't want to think, oh yeah, well, I should be investing this money, or I should be saving it, or I should be doing all of this. Like, I want to enjoy my life, and I get so much positive energy and fulfillment from having a sick life. You get so much energy, and it's just like, I can bring that energy, I can bring that knowledge that I share, I can bring the ideas, the new ways of operating to everyone else. So there's no drawback to it. Okay. I came here with $1,000 in my bank, less than $1,000 in my bank account, and I was earning $1,000 a month. So you really do not need. Now that's a very risky way of doing it, because a couple of weeks in, I couldn't afford a flight back. All right, I got here and I was like, oh shit, I got to make this work. I'd done that thing. I'd burnt the boats. I was just like, this has to work. Okay, there's no other way of not progressing. Yeah. So think about it. You're in an environment right now which has led you to the circumstances that you are currently in, which probably aren't the circumstances that you want to be in. Now, that is hugely down to your environment. This has to change. You can't keep thinking, oh, well, I'll do it later this year. I'll do it when I've got the money. Do it now. Book a flight, wherever it is. Go there, get some sun, train, get in great shape, hang around with people doing the same. And I promise you, I can't promise you that you'll be earning 30 grand a month within 2 months, but I can promise you that it will transform your life like it did mine. Like, I went from complete degenerate to now being the most dialed in person, like in a high level network of people doing multiple 6 figures a month. Okay. This is just how it goes. You need to change your environment. Okay. It's so important. It's so important, man. Got to do it. You've got to do it now. You can't just wait for your environment to come after the success. You have to change your environment, and that leads to the success. Okay? Now, you probably have an idea of where you want to go, of the lifestyle that you want to live. I highly recommend you just start doing that. You just start investing in your lifestyle, in your environment, and it will pay off. When you start staying at nicer places, you think, shit, I need to make this money back. Like when we got the private jet here to Koh Samui, it's like, shit, I don't want to fly commercial, okay? I only need to make enough money, so I'm flying private all the time. My friends are flying private, my family's flying private, because it's such a nice experience. When you stay at the nicest places on the island, the nicest villas, the nicest hotels, it's the law of exposure. You think, shit, the ceiling is up here, it's not here, okay? Once you're exposed to that, you understand that there is so much work to be done. And that's so powerful, because you can get complacent being in your old environment. You think, well, I'm earning 2-3K a month, I'm doing all right, I can sustain my life. That's such a dangerous position to be in, bro. So dangerous, okay? Expose yourself to new levels with your new environment is so important. So you have an idea, I know, whilst watching this video, of what you need to do. Now, you just need to do that. Forget about everything else. Don't worry about the money. You'll make it back. You will, because what other option is there? Go back to square one. Cool. You're no worse off than where you are now. Money will always come back, but changing your environment, optimizing everything, hanging around with people who are dialed in, that's going to transform your life. That is exactly what will transform your life, as it did mine. So do that, all right? I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Like, subscribe, do all that jazz. I'll see you tomorrow.